Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video today I will be reading and responding to more of y'all's Markiplier theories. So without further ado, let's get straight into it with this comment right here. Marvel 3000 says, I think that In Space with Markiplier is after a Heist with Markiplier, but there are some tie-ins. Even though most of the characters we see in space are from different universes, doesn't mean that there can't be different variants coexisting in one universe. It also doesn't mean that all the events in previous projects like A Date with Markiplier, Who Killed Markiplier, and all of them all exist in a vacuum and none of them are connected, which just isn't true. Now, I do agree that the projects like Who Killed Markiplier, A Date with Markiplier, and all of that all are in the same universe, the same Earth, like they're all connected with each other. But whether or not In Space with Markiplier takes place in the same universe as the rest of those projects, I think it depends on what the wormholes do. I mean, technically it is a possibility that In Space with Markiplier is in the same universe as all the rest, because maybe the wormhole is just some way to time travel instead of going through different universes. Although I highly doubt that because all the teasers and trailers for In Space with Markiplier are all talking about like multiverses and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, my opinion on the matter is that In Space with Markiplier most likely takes place in its own universe, but there is technically a chance that it can be in the same universe as all the rest of the Markiplier projects. But yeah, definitely without a doubt, everything non-In Space with Markiplier is all connected, same universe. So with that said, let's move on to the next comment. Before I read this next comment, I just want to quickly say sorry if I butcher any names, but Jiminal says, but Markiplier said Damian takes place after Wilford Mother-Loving Wharfstash. He explained it on the Why Killed Markiplier stream. Now, this video that she commented on is outdated. I've already made a whole nother Markiplier theory where I pretty much disprove most of the things I've said in that theory that she commented on. But as far as I know, in the Why Killed Markiplier stream, Markiplier said two possibilities on where the Damian video could take place in the timeline. The first one he said as he was talking about an alternate ending for the Damian video where Darkiplier ends up meeting up with Wilford Wharfstash and Wilford's pretty much like, hey, want to make a TV show? Then sparking the events of Markiplier TV. But since that was an alternate ending, I do not count that as canon. However, somewhere in that same live stream, Markiplier says that the events of Damian take place in this moment right here, whenever the lady hand turns into the man hand as they're grabbing Damian's cane. So I'm willing to bet that that split second right there is when all of Damian takes place inside of Darkiplier's head. So with that said, let's move on to the next comment. And this next wrong picture. Riddle me this. Who killed Markiplier in this lore? I'ma go with Jim. Amogus. Alright, so next up, Marion Baggins. Again, sorry if I butcher any names, but she says, I'm honestly surprised how well-crafted Wilford Mother-Loving Wharfstash is. It took 3 days to make, with 2 main actors and a few settings, and great storytelling from Mark. I am surprised for a short time that Mark made a masterpiece that quickly. I absolutely agree. I feel like Wilford Mother-Loving Wharfstash was Markiplier catching lightning in a bottle. I think the fact that the 2 main actors you're talking about is Markiplier himself with the absolute legend that is Mick. I feel like the both of them just work so well together. Both of them are just super good actors, super good storytellers, and just the both of them are absolutely awesome. So next up, let's take a step back to a still unanswered question about the Markiplier lore. And of course, I'm talking about In Space with Markiplier Part 0. Crazy and Lazy says, I checked Mark's TikTok, and the closest thing to 11 million views was 11.3 million. but maybe it's possible that the number has gone up since he said that, but it doesn't feel like it would be part 0, because it's just him being goofy like usual, so I don't know. Just saying, it could be possible that it's on another platform other than YouTube. Yeah, a while back, Lost Kid also said how the part 0 might not be on YouTube. Just because it has 11 million views might not mean that it's on YouTube. And to be honest, I never thought to look on TikTok. But the TikTok that this commenter is talking about is this one right here. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I just saw, but I do know that it most likely wasn't In Space with Markiplier Part 0. But still, shout out to Crazy and Lazy, because I would have never thought to check TikTok. And with that said, let's move on to the next comment. So, ALD says, actually, you can put space on the Markiplier timeline, because in the 10-year live stream, he says Wilfred Wolfstash puts you in an interview from the past. So ALD is actually talking about this scene right here.
Another day, and I'm glad that I ran into you because you've been avoiding me. And now that I have you right where I want you, I'm gonna book that interview, and I won't take no for an answer. And I won't take yes either. No choices at all, really. Haven't you had enough of those?
Now, also in the 10-year live stream, Markiplier said that in Space with Markiplier, you are playing the viewer. Like, you're literally playing yourself. So with that information, I'm willing to bet that the interview that you get booked for is the interview that you go to in A Heist with Markiplier. Now, I don't think this means that you play as the captain in A Heist with Markiplier as well. I just think that the captain is another or a different universe variant of the person you play as in A Heist with Markiplier. Now, I didn't really explain why I think the Heist with Markiplier interview is the interview that the Wolfstash is talking about whenever he's talking to the captain. So the reason I think this is because throughout A Heist with Markiplier, anytime you get to see your hands, it's almost different like every single time. Whether if it's the looks, the size, or the colors of the hands, almost every single time you use your hands in A Heist with Markiplier, they look different almost every time. And I'm pretty sure that's supposed to represent how us, the viewers, come in all shapes and sizes and looks and different looks and all that. So then that could also connect back to how in the 10-year live stream Markiplier was saying how we play the viewer, we play ourselves. The captain is the viewer. But with that said, I still don't feel like In Space with Markiplier takes place in the same universe as the other Markiplier projects. So next up we got Porky Fella saying, I think part 0 is more of the what ifs for what other characters have not yet chosen, because you know how we all think of what might happen if we choose another option than the other. Mark also had said multiple times that every character that we've met has their own motivation to pursue an action and to choose. During the run, they all still get to decide for their own, even without us there. So in a sense, those characters we've seen and interacted with were the same and not at the same time, since the time and space continuum is so messed up that every time we saw Mark, it could be a different Mark, since he's had his own experiences and his own choices without us there. These include the others. Hence, this might explain why the old Mark may not know Lady, or that his old brain is finally getting to him. To be honest, that would be something that Mark would do to us, make us overthink why does old Mark not remember Lady, then just have the solution be as simple as, oh, well, he's just getting old, just forgetting lots of stuff. That is a good idea for In Space with Markiplier Part 0. It's just the whole thing with Part 0 is just, I don't even know anymore. I don't know where to look. It seems like any option, any and every single option that could be part 0 is just wrong, it's just incorrect. But I'm willing to bet that someday we'll figure it out. I can imagine it now though, Markiplier on his deathbed, and he's like, Part 0 of In Space with Markiplier is, and then he just dies, and then it's left unanswered for the rest of time and space. So with that said, let's move on to the final comment for this video, and this last comment is from Lost Kid. He says, the way that Mark explains the mansion, it sounds kind of like the Upside Down from Stranger Things, except more unstable, with death being a shared conscious in the mansion. Now, I've never watched Stranger Things, but based off of what I know about the Upside Down, it does seem to be a really good comparison. I'd also like to see a prequel to Who Killed Markiplier, perhaps one based in the college that the DA, Damian, and Actor went to. Perhaps we get to see Actor before he goes crazy. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I'm just so excited to see what's next for the Markiplier lore in general, especially because in Markiplier's 10-year live stream, he was talking about how he's more inspired than ever to do even more cooler and epic projects. So I'm just super excited what the future holds for the Markiplier lore. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Also, comment any other theories or thoughts y'all have about the Markiplier lore. I'm always happy to hear them. So, I will see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.